Hey everybody, it's Free to Play Bust, kicking off expedition number 176. It's our first expedition of patch 112. That's the new Monuments of Power, the 40 card expansion to Call of the Mountain. So let's see what pops up. We're going to be running a touch blind in this run. They haven't released all of the cards in the card pools yet, and so we'll just have to kind of see. Just kind of play it by ear. I usually pull up stuff on the FTP bus site, but we'll have to see what we can do. With these, I'm tempted to just take the Aurelion Sol. We know that there's this kind of dragons theme coming out of the new cards. I was really hoping to spike one of the new champions, but I guess it's not as bad. Like when there's only 3 new champions as opposed to like the 8 that they added initially, to where you're just seeing new champions every single time. But here we'll take the Aurelion Sol. The new champions being Soraka and Targon, Shyvana and Demacia, and then Tom Kench and Bilgewater. And so at least if the dragon themes pop up or the healing themes pop up, we might get to see some of the new stuff with this Aurelion Sol. And all right, well, we can just dive in on trying to do dragon stuff, I guess. There's this Dragon's Descent Shyvana down here, and so let me take half a moment. I will still pull up the site. If you're not familiar, it's ftpbus.com. Just with the updates here, I did get my set review finished for Monuments of Power. It's right here. If that's the thing you'd like to read the next time you're taking a dump. It's certainly there for you to take a look at. But what we typically do is, we pull up the Aurelion Sol card pool. We can see all of the cards that will show up whenever we see a Otherworldly Creatures Aurelion Sol pack, and we kind of use this to kind of shape the cards that we'll end up seeing. Um, Hopefully these pools, we'll get the list from the devs here in a couple days. Hopefully I can get that all updated this weekend. But I think with this Aurelion Sol, I mean, this pool in its own tends to just be the invoke pool. And so what we typically recommend that you do is you really just run in and take every invoke unit that you see. The important ones being Spacey Sketcher, the Priestesses, just because they're so cheap. You just want to be dropping a bunch of dudes on the board, and then they generate so many celestial cards that you'll eventually just outvalue your opponent. But specifically here, we're going to be looking to be drafting around Shyvana. We're going to be looking to draft this dragon theme, and so we'll have to see what we can actually pull up here. I know within this pool there are a handful of actual dragon cards. There's Fused Firebrand, White Flame Protector, Dragon's Clutch could be moderately interesting here. Herald of Dragons being the big one that we're probably going to be looking for, but it is rare. And then Envolus Vox and Infinite Mind Splitter, all dragons. And so they do play towards this, Shyvana theme. Shyvana wants to be doing things with dragons. Oh man, that's the Broodmother. I thought it was the rare. Like the 7 cost 7/5 with Daybreak and Nightfall is the one that we were specifically looking for here. But we'll just have to roll with this however it goes. But kind of the big thing, the problems that we'll be running into with these dragon stacks is you can already see just everything's so fucking expensive. Like Shyvana's a 4, we got a 5, we got a 7, we got a 10. We're really going to have to be like ultra mindful of our curve. The dudes I'll be mainly looking for, I could probably actually pull them up from the set review. Hang on. Gotta scroll down to the Demacia section. There we go. Good. This Dragon Guard Lieutenant and this Egghead Researcher are going to be 2 of the units that we're really going to be looking for here. Just a good 3/2 with upside for 2 mana. Something we're always looking for, giving us a way to interact before we can get our big dragons online. And then the Egghead Researcher just actually generates dragons. This guy tends to, in my opinion, just be better than the vast majority of the dragons. Like basically whenever we were drafting sea monsters, we'd be looking to drop Jaw Hunters and then have the Jaw Hunters generate sea monsters, not actually play sea monsters. The Researcher's not quite as good as Jaw Hunters. He is cheaper, but he's not really going to be winning too many combats. And so I would like to be able to do that to an extent, just play a whole bunch of these Egghead Researchers, not so many actual dragons, but we'll see how this pans out. 100% sure if we'll be able to kind of pull that theme off here. Okay. Interesting. You get to, there's invoke cards in the Dragon's deck, and then there's a concerted strike in it. We don't we don't exactly know what we're getting ourselves into here, and I'm kind of surprised to see the invoke cards within the Dragon deck. It doesn't really seem to fit thematically. But oh, and they put this turd in the otherworldly creatures. He's not a turd. It's just a 4/4 for 4 that gives an ability you don't really care about. When you play Aurelion Sol, you're not super worried about giving your units overwhelm. But between all of these here, I'm just going to take the Dragon's Descent. It does have the removal spell in it, but I'm wanting to see more of these Dragon's cards pop up. I'm wanting to try to do some Dragon build-arounding, and I'm pretty sure if we just take this Otherworldly Creatures pack, it's just going to send us down the route of playing the Invoke deck. And so if this was just our standard, let's try to go for 7 wins run, I would probably take this this Otherworldly Creatures pack and try to just shift into the Invoke deck. But I think if we take the Dragon's Descent here, it should hopefully make more of these Dragons packs show up in the future. Okay, interesting seeing Laurent Bladekeeper here. He doesn't seem to be on theme whatsoever. But I believe this is the pack we'll take. I'm pretty interested in picking up Sunburst. One of the big issues with the Otherworldly Creatures pool is it doesn't have any removal in it, and so starting out with a Sunburst and starting out with a Concerted Strike is pretty good. But as you can see from here, like the big problem we're running into is with our curve, and taking these picks here doesn't help that any. None of these picks whatsoever really help that, but you know, we really need to be finding cheaper cards just to stick in our deck. And so, I mean, I guess the cheaper cards are just going to be White Flame Protector. I mean, it is a dragon, and it comes with a star shaping, which is fine. I wouldn't be opposed to taking the Strafing Strike, which feels like a worse single combat, and the Guided Touch, which just doesn't really do anything here. But we're getting a dragon and some healing. These spells are a little bit more powerful over here. I think this is where we want to be. Okay. And then we can take the Freylord cards. Oh, trying to fix my cords and I couldn't find them. Like out of all of these cards, I'm mainly interested in Starlit Seer. Wolf Rider tends to be pretty bad in these decks because we just don't have any way to ever hit the ramp. So I think we're going to ignore that one. I mean, as awkward as it sounds, I think we need to take the Duelist and the Vanguard. Like Guiding Touch just doesn't really do enough to get us through the game. I do really like Sneaky Zeebles, but not in this style of deck. This wants to be in an aggro deck to where you know, you're playing this on turn 7 and punching through your last 6 or 7 points of damage. This doesn't really have any place inside of this really slow dragon deck we're putting together. So I'm going to take the Duelist and the Vanguard. At least I guess we can call it early game interaction when they cost 3 and 4 as opposed to 5 and 6. Okay, well here's our first researcher. I think we have to snatch these up. We have to get something cheap. Like, I mean, I'm not super opposed to passing on Remembrance. Fleet Feather Tracker can always just play Remembrance on turn 3, but I think these cards are just going to be a little bit more on theme. I have a good feeling that using things like Laurent Duelist in conjunction with White Flame Protector, and we don't have the 5-cost, whatever he is, 5-cost Rage Spell Shield guy, but you know, we have a lot of good units to be giving Challenger to if we can just survive the early game. Okay. What are you? Oh, he's fine. And again, I think we're just going to take these cheaper cards. Radiant Guardian could be okay here, but our curve is just going to get out of whack. And so I think picking the 2 and the 3 is just going to be a little bit safer here. Okay. Oh boy, a gift giver. I think we can skip over that. We don't have to be like just searching for ones. We just need a little bit more than 2 2-drops here. And so I think if, you know, I don't want Stargazer. We're not like doing any of the healing things. Oh, in Luminous Dusk, interesting. That's in the Diana pool. Say you slap a slap a gem on a 5/3 overwhelm and just get it through with elusive. Interesting. But here, no, we'll take the Protector. We're getting one either way. And then we'll take the one with Confront. Just give us a way to interact with our opponents. Okay, these again not super exciting. These guiding touches are everywhere. Just don't want any of these cards. We'll be okay with the Radiant Strike Vanguard. Just our cheapest plays here. The one I want. I think this is fine. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of spell casting. I don't think this guy's like super good, but there's decks to where he'll be okay, and I think this is probably one of them. And then I am pretty big on this Stalking Broodmother. I think this is a fantastic expensive card, but otherwise, this was that dragon I was talking about earlier. He'd be okay, but we don't need the Ibex. And then there is, I'm not like super opposed to actually taking the Vanguard in the Succession, just to give us something to do on turn 2. But we haven't taken a whole lot of invokes. Well, we have 4. We don't need to go out of our way to pick up expensive cards, right? We have the 2 priestesses. We have the one Moondreamer, the 1 Star Shaping, and then of course Aurelion Sol. And so it looks like, we don't have a huge amount of top end, but we actually do. And so I think I am actually just going to take these 2 cheaper cards down here. I have to imagine, like at least in like one more pick or a trade pick somewhere, we'll be able to just pick up a, like a 7-drop and then just be done with units like that. But here, I'm not opposed to the Protector, but I don't think we need it, right? I mean, it does combo with like the Confront and the 2 large duelists, but we're going to be giving Challenger to like big dudes. It's one thing to be giving like Laurent Protege and Fiora Barrier, just because they're 3 and 4 health, but when we're giving a 5 health unit, 4 health unit Challenger, it's typically just going to win whatever you slam it into. And so I think I'm gonna take the Stomper and the Stellacorn. I'm pretty low on Stellacorn, but again, I'm really just trying to push our curve down. Okay, interesting. In Dragon's Clutch, I'm not quite sure what I think of this. I mean, drawing 2 cards is pretty decent, especially when it can just pick up Aurelion Sol. These is kind of a close set. Like, I don't want On Guard. Strafing Strike would be fine. I'm kind of interested in Moondreamer to just, kind of, when I was talking about just picking up a 7-drop, Moondreamer kind of counts for that. But then, like, Vanguard Defender is the unit that we actually want here. Can probably make some use out of Ranger's Resolve. I think this is okay. Which one are you? It's certainly a spell. Interesting set. I don't think we need to go out of our way to pick up these single combats anymore. We do have 1 Sunburst, we have 1 Concerted Strike, we have a Confront, we have 2 Duelists. I think we're just kind of like okay as far as removal spells go. And so I think I just want this Behold the Infinite. What I think is probably going to like work with this as well is like when we have these turns to where we already have 3 spell mana, and like we're say it's like turn 6 and we already have 3 spell mana, and all we can do is play a 4-drop. It's a great unit or a great card to just go ahead and slot in there. So I think it'll be okay. I don't think I'm big on Astral Protection, but we should give it a try at some point, I guess. And then here, as much as I'm unexcited about Vanguard Lookout, I am real excited about getting rid of Fledgling Stellacorn, especially to pick up another Behold the Infinite. This card is just pure garbage, and this is just, as I was trying to talk about earlier, it's just a great thing in the mid game. Early game, we can just dig for a cheap unit if we need to, or we can just, statch up something big. It just plays great at every stage of the game. Cool. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Not like our only real like dragon build around card we got was Diana. We passed on the 1 Dragon's Clutch, which is fine. We didn't see any of the thing that makes them cheaper, and so hopefully we can see some of the stuff pop up in the future. But excuse me, as it goes in this current run, it's not not too dragon-centric, I guess, until we try to pick up a few more Dianas. I'm a little worried about this Lee Sin status here. They did just add in a second card pool with Lee Sin.
Approaching the battlefront.
He's pretty powerful. He's not as strong in Expedition as he is in Constructed, but he's still a pretty reasonable unit. Here, I don't see any reason to Radiant Strike down this dude. He's not really doing anything.
Water changes, but never breaks.
All right, so I mean that's one way to pick up either a Shyvana or an Aurelion Sol. I think I'm pretty okay with that. It might be a little bit safer to take a Meteor Shower, but I think I'm okay with that. I guess it's getting Aurelion Sol. Let's get Shyvana down.
People with pride.
Sure.
Taste steel.
Still a reasonable attack. We can protect it here if we want. I think this is probably worth it here. He wants to spend a spell to win this, then by all means go for it. But
A misstep.
I think this is just starting to snowball this board when we already have a Alarm Duelist in our hand. Feels pretty good.
I will show you no mercy.
Dude's just gonna kill our Shyvana. It's okay. Guess we'll threaten with our own just to keep him from putting stuff on the board.
Dragon.
Dude, not cool. Wafflame, you are no fun. Okay, like I didn't really want to just slam our dragon into this, so I think I'm pretty okay to play just this 3 attack unit, and then we can Larnt Duelist our 3 attack. If he has another combat trick or something, I'm pretty okay with that. As long as it's like a riposte. If he wants to like make a riposte play on our unit and then not really play anything, then that's pretty good for us. That's what he's doing. We're like 100% getting riposted here. But I still think this is okay.
A cut above the rest.
Like, he's going to have this dragon on board. It's eventually going to take down our dragon, but he's not really adding anything to this board.
For the fallen!
Devotion through battle.
All these attacks are good. None of these one attackers deal anything to our defender. If these just kind of bounce over here, I'm pretty okay with it.
Can you stomach this?
That's not the end of the world.
What form will the waters take?
It is pretty surprising. Like, his hand must just be like a bunch of expensive dragons if his play here wasn't to riposte. That works for me. That's a worthy sunburst target if I've ever seen one. Let's get this out of here.
How?
Sure.
Hand to the face!
Well, it still feels like we're gonna get hit with a riposte, so I'm just gonna put Vanguard. Do I want to put Defender here? I think so.
Stand strong.
Maybe. It's okay. Maybe we should have just tried to trade riposte for our duelist. Now this just has a good block on our duelist, so. What health do you normally have? Just +1/+1, so it would heal him for 2. Okay. I think what we want to do, well, I mean, we really just want to be adding Aurelion Sol next turn. So we have to play Written in the Stars this turn. We want to just spend all our mana? I don't think so. Let's get a Protector down. Sure. You should have like 2 units with Barrier now. It's a pretty good chance we weren't going to get a good attack this turn anyways.
Aspiring trichologist.
Do we hook this? I still just like feel in my in the back of my head that he just has a riposte here. So if he spends down to like 2 mana, then I'm okay to pass it back. But this is highly suspect the way this guy's playing this.
Madame, you would fight me?
Save your words. We speak with blades. Let them eat so. Try me.
Feel the sizzle!
Feel that
En
sizzle.
garde.
Sure. You got it.
No one goes hungry! Eyes bigger!
A noble
Okay,
end.
what's our flip status look like here? I don't think we can. No, or no. But we're adding 24 to the board, right? Oh, it's just power, so it'd be gonna be just a little bit short. I think we just want to make our dudes huge.
Hello, Runeterra. Let's rock.
I won't stand by.
We're certainly not in any kind of hurry now. Sure.
Hardened scales.
I do love an audience.
So we want to go about this. We need to add. We can Cosmic Inspiration and then still play White Protector. I think that's fine. And then we have no intention of attacking this turn. This will boost up our dudes on board as well.
Fine day to be in the field, eh, soldier?
Maybe
Rally,
we'll get
huh?
to see a dragon up close.
Okay, let's see if we get back to back or something. I think this is okay even if we do.
What is this?
Don't test me,
Okay, perfect.
my friend.
No, no. Wonder at my creations.
All right, I can't imagine we lose from this point forward.
I do love an audience.
Try me.
Sure.
Strike without worry.
All right, we'll just take the expensive one. Everything's free now, so I mean it's not like this super matters from this point forward. Pretty cool to add Golden Sister and the Scourge. Let's see if we pick up a spell with this. Okay. Why not pick up some removal spells? Why not?
The light of my star warms the heavens.
Okay.
History is forged anew.
A hunger that is never
All
sated.
right. Pretty sure this has to be the old good game friend. Alright, let's see how these packs look. Like, if we see like the Nightfall Dragon, I'm kind of okay with with picking up a second Aurelion Sol. I feel like we're probably in a pretty slow format here. No, these aren't cards that I actually want. I'm happy to pick up a second Sunburst. I want to try the protection. I feel like this card's not going to be any good, but you know, we gotta give everything a try here. I'm pretty sure we want this to just be a 3 Shyvana deck, and so pretty easy to be picking up the stack, especially with our second Sunburst. Love seeing that there. Oh, Shyvana all the time today. Gonna have so much dragons over the next 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the way they're handling this. We could probably keep Radiant Strike. We're not going to have a lot of early plays. We should be able to protect Shyvana with it or something early. But no, right? We're on like the 2-month cycle, which I do love. What a way to just swing right into that curve. But you know, the way that Riot's planning on doing this is, you know, a set will the big set will be released 2 weeks later. There'll be a minor balance patch. 2 weeks later, there'll be a major balance patch. 2 weeks later, there'll be another minor, and then 2 weeks after that, they'll release a new set of cards. And so, the way it seems like they're doing this though with expeditions are, like the champions out of the new cards are 3 times as likely to show up. And then 2 weeks in, they make them a little bit less likely, and then 2 weeks after that, they return them down to normal. But it's like half the time, you know, the new cards are showing up, and like I get where it kind of like sucks. You know, my full intention with this run today was if we didn't see one of the new champions in the first 2 packs, I was just gonna quit that run and start another one. Like, but. Like, this is what I do. Like, I make a bunch of Runeterra videos. Here I want to open. It's too easy for him to play a unit that blanks both our researcher and our priestess. But you know, there's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to just, you know, dump a few thousand dust into finding a run that has one of the new champions in it. And so I get why they're doing it. I just wish it wasn't so long. Like I kind of feel like if you know, if you're not going to like dive into the new cards and play an expedition in the first week, then you're probably just not going to do it whatsoever. So nonetheless, he is playing the Shyvana, so I think he's, you know, going to have a lot of bigger units. But I am pretty tempted to just try to smash off this Written in the Stars. We do already have one Shyvana though.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
We need to pick the removal spell. We're just playing like straight on curve. This is exactly why I love Radiant Strike in these kind of curve decks. Like if we wanted to play like a Riposte or a Prismatic Barrier here, we could technically add a unit, but it's not like a good unit that's being added. But, you know, here we have this 1 mana card to win these combats however we want.
Come on.
That's certainly some sequencing. Not sure what old boy's play is here. That's very strange to me. Here, if we don't get to attack with Shyvana, it's fine. Mainly interested in attacking with this Firebrand. Probably just shouldn't attack with her. Unless he, like, if he spends 5 mana here, I'm okay to attack. But like, one of the big things with Shyvana is that she has to see the damage, and so it's real easy for us to put in like a whole bunch of work in trying to get her to flip, and then just getting the payoff eliminated. I'm gonna play it slow. The way he's spending his mana and adding Arena Battlecaster to the board, which, you know, just 100% doesn't affect this combat. It looks like he's trying to back us.
Away with you, stranger.
Okay. I wonder if they added. I asked the expedition dev if what the deal was with seeing Elixir of Wrath show up in the trade picks. And he said that yes, that was a thing that could happen, and then also said that they were adding it to a Noxus card pool. I don't think they added any new Noxus card pools, so they must have added it to Disruption or Noxus Might or something. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be in this Darius pool. You could have wild picked it, but we should be seeing more Elixir of Wraths going forward. Sure. Just don't really care about any of this. Let's just let this combat happen and then deploy units on the backside. Big decision time here. Yeah, you're gonna trade your tracker for our big dragon, and then we're just gonna prevent a bunch of damage. Easy peasy. He has a might somewhere, that's okay. I guess if he has might, we should block like this to prevent the extra damage coming through. Nope. Cool. And how far away from are we from Aurelion Sol? I think that's really what we're building up to now. So let's add Shyvana. We'll add the Shadestalker to get it on the board. It's not like we're going to be playing any of these spells.
Invisible to the ignorant.
We can add this Fury Dragon next turn to try to get our Shyvana to flip. And then I think we should be in a pretty okay spot to start just trying to... oh, it's Star Shaping. I thought I just had another Written in the Stars in our hand, and I was just going to be slamming down another Aurelion Sol. That's okay.
Whatever the cost.
Okay, cool.
Your fury is nothing against
I don't appreciate
mine.
these people keep trying to kill our Shyvanas. We need to go ahead and remove this guy. And we should be able to get a flip with her with our open attack next turn. Sure.
You can count on me. Not on my watch.
Hey man, we can get this spring gifts and then heal our Vanguard Lookout up to full. Okay, in case you were looking for the sweet plays of the day, here I'm gonna get a little bit aggressive, a little bit greedy. I think we're okay to just trying to learn duelist something, and so think here. Let's do this. Let's add the Protector. It's going to combat better with whatever he plays, and then now we're protected. If he says if he plays like a non-drop here, an 8-drop or whatever, we can just hook it and still get our Shyvana in for these attacks. It's not the most ideal unit for us to see, but it's not the end of the world.
Let us settle this with grace and civility.
Okay.
Break them.
Forgive me.
He engages, but will he survive? Hopefully, yes.
It's got to be good, right? If he had back-to-back, he either just immediately drew it or would have played it a few turns ago. Yeah.
Witness my
Then
true
we can even heal up our Shyvana should we feel the need to. I really do like cards like this Spring Guardian. I brought it up in the set review. It's just these, it's a 3/3 for 3, which is fine, but then it generates a spell. This heal an ally all the way is not like a spectacular spell. There are some, value added plays you can make with it. but even if it's just something to discard to like the celestial guy, like in these spots where we want to be discarding puff caps and stuff, just generating a way to discard something is always pretty good. Kind of sucks that this is slow. It takes takes a full hour to get that spell off. But okay, here's our way to deal with this. Shyvana's ready to bruise. Let's get in here.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Double check this thing has burst, right? It was about to be embarrassing if it didn't. All right, she's ready to get into combat and shit. Start doing these bad strikes.
Need a hand, little star?
All right, team. Feels good. Let's rumble. Ready to get all these heals on. We ever just go ahead and heal this? Let's see at. do the mathematics real quick. At 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Is that right? Let's just heal it anyways. Or this guy rage quit. Come on, Draco, hey. Alright, cool. Big timing with the dragons. Okay. Pretty alright with switching out the lookout for the mountain goat. I don't want these Dragon Guard lookouts. I just don't feel like, like the way these games go, we're just playing giant units at the end of the game. And if our giant units, survive longer than our opponent's giant units, then we're going to win. And we're not really in these spots to where we need to be attacking a whole bunch of times in a row. So I'm really not excited to pick this up, especially at the cost of a 2-drop. Kind of same deal with Succession. We aren't getting really wide attacks in. And so I think we're okay to just upgrade our 2-drop here. Right. Get our third Shyvana here. I'm like 90% sure that there's a new card pool that has, how do we get here? Is it play Runeterra? Let's see real quick. Oh gosh, we can't lose the game. We can get rid of all this. We're looking for cheaper stuff here. Alright, expeditions. Yeah, Fist of the Dragon, Lee Sin plus Shyvana. Dragon stuff in it. I thought we'd seen awful lot of Lee Sin today.
To gain the strength of rivers.
Wonder what that's going to mean for expedition. I mean, I have recently started playing a big pile of constructed, and like seeing the Lee Sin deck running around. I can't tell if people just like don't like to play against it because like it's too good. It doesn't seem like particularly interactive, which is a bit frustrating. And so it feels like a lot like one of those matchups to where like you get to like turn 4 or turn 5 and it may not be over yet, but you know it's over, and so you just kind of like hey, you have to kind of play it out, but you're probably just done like 4 turns from now, and we'll have to see if a lot of that finds its way into expedition. Oh, yeah.
My training is
Got my teammate. Here we go, bud. There we go. Let's see. I'm not like real stoked about playing any of this. I kind of want to get a duelist on board, just to like hook with it next turn. That feels like relatively weak. just pass it back and see what he does. I mean, just going to attack with the Conspirator, but
If I kill you, I know fortune, stupid.
interesting. He's put the damage over here. Alright, well this is awkward, but I want to get this thing down to block. If it can't block, I want to use hooks with it next turn. Unfortunate seeing all that mana show up now that we pick up Meteor Shower here, but
Mind and open heart greet the night.
I think it's okay.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
You were
Just
misguided.
gotta get some of these units out of here. The longer this game goes on, the stronger we're gonna be. We've already got this Aurelion Sol in our hand and such, so
Let us settle this with grace and civility.
Follow the tracks.
and if this is unsuccessful, I mean it's not the end of the world. We do still have this Meteor Shower, which I assume will be pretty reasonable at some point in this game. Can't just immediately drop it on Lee Sin. We need our opponent to do some stuff first. That would be unfortunate to see him resonating strike down this Lee Sin.
Oh, good. It's Fizz.
Everyone says that.
Okay, well, this one will work. You can't spell sling through that. He can deny it, which would be pretty good, but we have to assume he just doesn't have deny now. Sure. So we're certainly getting popped here, but
Tea for two.
I think it's okay. Be nice to have like a heal spell or something, but this is okay. We need to guarantee we get some of these units off the board. If we just play Shyvana, he can ignore it pretty handily. I think we want to try to hook in his Fizz. If he has spells here to win the combat, then good for you. But what we're going to run into with this board is if he kills with elusives. Sure. That's pretty reasonable. At least he can't add to the board from that point. Okay, let's see if he has another spell. It's kind of okay. We can kind of handle this Fizz. This Wave Rider is the big problem here. Oh, that just countered the whole thing? Shit, I forgot about that. We just shouldn't have targeted Fizz. We should have targeted his mentor. We're probably just gonna lose now. I thought that's what it did. I pulled it up and I was just like, I don't need to read this. I know how it works. and then I let it fall down.
I'll show you how it's done.
Okay.
Why even try?
That was not the best move we've made today. Targeting me. I don't know. It's tough for me to understand how a lot of these cards work. I was pretty sure that Fizz just countered the whole thing, but it's one of these things where that works in some places and doesn't work in other places. Here we most certainly have to play Duelist. So that's 3 of our mana. I kind of want to just play Succession, but I mean we can pull off Shyvana Astral Protection if we need to.
Fire and fury.
I think this is
burn
okay.
Me.
We might turn the corner if we're able to survive this turn. That was kind of brutal last turn. Like, if we were at 6 facing down this Fizz, I wouldn't be like ultra worried about it. But being at 2 is a little bit more frightening. That thing's not scary. I don't care about that. We can deal with this overwhelm. We have infinite health Astral Protection in our hand.
A cut above the rest.
This is like the third run in a row I've got all this cat hair in my face. Now I gotta just deal with it. You gotta just deal with it, team.
Suffer my fury.
Not a hair out of place.
I think we're okay with this duelist attack. Depending on what he does, I mean, we're probably just going to play Radiant Strike, protect our Screeching Dragon, and then we can follow up with Succession. I think that's okay. I don't think we need to just bank this full amount of mana. Oh god, Andy hit perfect. I wasn't worried about combat tricks, but it's a bit unfortunate with that make it rate. Now we have to play the Succession or it'll open kill us. But maybe we'll get him good here with this Astral Protection. We don't have a choice anymore. We just have to play Monster Dude. Well, I mean, we can play Mountain Goat, I guess. We just lose to Will of Ionia anyways, right? If he attacks, puts Will of Ionia on whatever we put in front of Longtooth, and we just lose. I think this is fine to play the dragon. Okay. So yeah, we're dead either way now. Perhaps that was overly aggressive. I don't know. I kind of like it. Let's see if he messes this up. Really? I don't think you know how this game works, friend. Okay. All right, whatever. We got a little sloppy in that one, but. Okay, let's see what we get to do here. Don't want Rummel. I don't think we want to make any of these. I'm pretty happy with how these duelists are panning out here. And I also want to hang on to this first blade. If we are able to trade out Ranger's Resolve, I'd be pretty happy to do it, but I want to keep this Radiant Strike. I certainly don't want to trade it for this random 4-drop that doesn't do anything. So these are all pretty easy skips. Yeah, not my best work. I mean, that's tough. I guess, you know, when you're in we should have just been playing to, like, we know that he's going to try to kill us with the 5/2 Overwhelm, and then we can just completely negate it with our +4 health spell. You know, we lose to Will of Ionia either way, and then with him having that sea monster on board, like, we were never attacking with that 6/6 dragon, so not real happy with how we let that game finish up. We still would have had a lot of work to do to win the game, but I mean, we got them down to a handful of cards, and we had an Aurelion Sol in our hand at 9 mana, and so you know, that was definitely winnable if we just didn't die. So that was kind of brutal. We misplayed on that Fizz, and then misplaying again on that combat trick.
Remember my words.
Sure. Okay. Sure. If he wants to trade, we'll let him do it. This is a more than reasonable unit to get off the board, and I don't really want him Pale Cascading a Mountain Goat and getting multiple gems out of it. Does leave us in a bit of an awkward spot in consideration with Lauren Bladekeeper, but I think we can fire one of these off. We don't have to, like, aggressively take the messenger, but I'd be happy to pick it up if that's what we saw. Trickster's fine.
Be at peace. Take heart.
Sure. Awkward Soraka attacks. I wonder how far we can go with just like not getting into combat with his units. This is kind of one of the things I was worried about with Soraka is you don't like actually have to, you know, do stuff in combat with them. So, you know, it does kind of like shape how these combats will look, because we really don't want to be getting into combats we can't win. But like all in all, like these attacks are not particularly scary.
Cold and unforgiving as moonlight.
Can deal with Diana. We like this. Make a big old elusive. I like it. Was he going to gem Diana and try to hook something? Pretty okay with that as well. I think I'm mainly interested in dealing with this Soraka.
Night descends. I will be heard.
Well, if that's all it's going to be, I'm okay with this as well. I have to figure if he had a good combat trick, he would be just be getting, like, I don't know why he didn't get these 2 units in. Like, if he wants to Pale Cascade, this is okay. Unspeakable Horror is okay. Like, it's really surprising that he's not trying to put damage onto the Soraka or the Gift Giver. Let's bank. I don't think getting Succession down does anything. I guess there's a world where he plays like a 2/3 elusive, and we don't want to have to deal with that right now. Just opens fine.
I'll take it dead or near enough.
Golden Sister. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the one we want. We're not really in a position to be losing to this Neverglade Collector. I'm pretty happy to be picking up both elusives and picking up the lifesteal, so we can just kind of pad our health total. And again, as we talked about in the draft, pretty happy with these Beyond the Infinites at this point. We're good to just go for big boy. And then we'll bank up to the 3 mana. Sure.
Arise in our time of need.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
Pretty reasonable to me. See if he's going to drop some of these astral protections on us. I mean, this seems like the deck that wants them. That's for certain.
Lies.
Be brave.
You are beneath me.
I'm not going to do anything here. If we just get this trade, I'm happy with the outcome. And then if he wants to try to do something to protect this Crescent Guardian, and we protect our Golden Sister, I'm okay with that as well. I'm mainly interested in protecting the Trickster and the Silver Sister.
Our light grows bright. The moon is our queen. The night, her kingdom.
You should. The bigger we getting domed for here. The more I think about it, the more I like this. He's never interacting with our ground units. But just picking up another blocker for the next go around is pretty big. I think he did the mathematics on that one. Unless he just has a second whatever that thing is. Here, we're pretty safe this turn. I am getting kind of worried that we'll need to keep this Star Shaping mana up, but that's a next turn problem. I think we're probably pretty good to add the Destroyer. It's tough for him to play units that we really care about here, as far as our elusives are concerned. And this should just mow through something. Done, sure. The damage, you got it.
I will find you.
This is not the way.
Still tramples for a shitload, friend.
The full moon
Sure.
awakens the soul.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a pretty big pickup. Sure. 5-10. We just can't play spells here. We're gonna concerted strike this Diana, and then
Unseen, unheard. The
I think we have to
moon
keep star shaping
conceals
mana
you
up.
from our foes.
Whatever the cost.
Night descends.
You leave me no choice.
I will be heard. Face your heretic.
All the decisions. Like, as far as this goes, we want to be putting
I
Solari
will be
Priestess in front of
heard.
this thing. And then we'll have to see how he lines these other things up. Oh, that was a pretty not big attack. I was expecting more to come out of that. Let's just go ahead and soak up the 2 damage. We're not going to get anything else out of this. The hell, game.
Back, heretic.
Okay, and then don't like have to star shaping anymore, but I think we want to. Let's start with this. Strike an enemy. Let's do our little big unit and then our big unit.
Have faith.
And I mean, we don't really have to star shaping anymore, but I think we're still in a pretty good spot too. Ever need to just pick up the Scourge? How far does that get us? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Those are some pretty good mathematics. He also has Challenger, so we can hook this Neverglade Collector.
A hunger that is never sated.
Not cool, bro. Not cool. Can he stop this anyways? I think he has a lot of trouble still stopping this. Oh, he can block one of our units down here. Okay.
Hide no longer. Brothers.
Not cool. We should. We wanted to just win the game right there. Sunburst chair. Look, he's gonna get his first Soraka activation of the game. Jeez.
Live with purpose.
No further.
Okay. That seems pretty reasonable. Sure.
My star fades.
You ever just win with width? It doesn't quite seem to be the case. I mean, we can trample over for 7 onto this Neverglade Collector. So maybe we can pull this off. We have quite a few units we can add here. Let's see what we actually pick up.
The less we fear.
I think that's one way to go about it.
A drop of kindness creates many ripples.
I think I like it. Let's just get the big boy down. Sorry, Aurelion Sol. You'll get your time to shine eventually. Sure.
A cut above the rest.
Alright, hopefully this is enough. I mean, maybe this is just too greedy. I don't think it's too greedy.
Out of the springs.
Maybe we should have just gone ahead and healed this thing. Looking more and more like we should have. Oh yeah, this dude's just got all the cards. At least these things are going to our units and not going to face. He just spent basically 3 damage there. Ugh. Alright, well, we'll just play Aurelion Sol, I guess. That was sloppy. We should have played Spring Gifts. We're never going to do anything else with this 1 mana. Are we dead? We're not dead. Yeah, that was sloppy. This is what happens when you have to take like a 2-day break because all the new cards aren't out yet. Definitely should have spring gift our big dragon.
I created it. He's magnificent.
Okay, still alive.
Boop.
Hang on.
How dare you?
Do we ever just want to just kill this thing? He starts to be like a somewhat problem next turn. But what is that? Elusive Fury Spell Shield? We can just hook this thing? No. We can hook something. What does this go? We need to Screeching Dragon this. We can also add Shyvana. Okay.
Oh no, blood!
My, how they stare.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll add Screeching. We're going to add Duelist. We can add Succession.
Night flowers
Okay,
upon
he
my
drew
blade.
a blank. We're gonna use Dragon to hook here. We're gonna use the Researcher to hook here. And just kind of who cares about Soraka?
Fierce and fashionable, no?
Follow the tracks.
Boop.
Let's get these. I don't care about this Soraka flip, so he has to block. Like, this is going to get 3 damage in, right? He's going to put Soraka in front of Aurelion Sol. Either way, yeah. You're getting in for the 3 damage.
Outrageous!
Alright, let's see. Let's see if we've punted this one as well.
I do love an audience.
Okay, okay. There's no direct damage cards out of the Celestials. I'm just loading up on challengers here. That's all there is to this. He can't, like, the AoE can't play.
I am the forger of stars.
I guess this was enough. This was sloppy.
Now they'll pay attention. Oh, they will shine.
Let's just do this.
For the fallen!
I don't think it particularly matters. I think he's just hoping for the disconnect. Or he picked up the Unspeakable Horror and just closed the game out. Jeez. That was nasty.
See you next time, Runeterra.
Alright, we're just going to take this Shyvana pool. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like, I kind of feel like if that 7-cost Nightfall, Eclipse Dragon, whatever, is here, I'd be kind of interested in taking it. There is a Herald of Dragons, which would be nice to have, but here's the Eclipse Dragon I was talking about, along with a 3rd Sunburst. I'm pretty stoked to pick up this the Shyvana set here. Easy peasy. I would like some of these Herald of Dragons though. That's the only one that we've seen. Okay. Got over that hump. I don't know. I don't quite feel like this is good enough to take it to 7, but I don't know. I tend to be pleasantly surprised with these decks. I think are trash. So I have a hard time telling if they're just trash or it's just decks I don't like to play. So it's probably trash because I only like to play good decks. But oh, our first taste of Tom Kench here. That's a pretty easy mulligan. Still like to have some more cheaper cards in this curve. Maybe 3 Sunburst is a little too expensive, but maybe it's just variance. Maybe it's what happens when you start with Aurelion Sol in your opener.
A little luck for those who need it.
Everything's gonna be fine when we're dropping him on turn 8. I'm just gonna get that big dragon online and play Aurelion Sol on 8.
For gold, I listen.
Sure.
Remember my words.
This is kind of an interesting spot. It's just like there's not really good 3-drops we can get with Behold the Infinite. We'd be playing it basically to try to spike a messenger. And even if we hit it, there's not like a whole lot of draws we can chain into it. Kind of sucks, but I think I'm just going to add the Duelist here. We're in a spot to where we can just play it and pass, and then we can start chaining out our bigger units. We haven't taken like too much damage here, and so as long as we could just kind of stem the bleeding, I think I'm pretty okay with how this is panning out. Sure. These Silverwing Vanguards are looking particularly good here. Sure.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron. Dusk approaches.
Okay, we can deal with Diana. 3/3 now. That's a little tougher to deal with. So how's this going to go? She's going to hook the Duelist, then we'd have these 2 things eat a 3 hit from this. I don't super like that. Let's just get the Protector down.
No more
I'm glad I hovered over this and realized it was the Challenger thing. I thought I was trying to envision like the single combat play we were going to be making onto these units. Here,
Heed the path.
dude clearly has a whatever Pale Cascade, and so I think I am kind of willing to just take a 6 hit. I guess the reason not to do it would be him adding a bunch of gems to his hand. But I think we do want to get him to spend this Pale Cascade so that we can attack in with our... well, we can confront next turn. Okay, let's see how this goes. We can take her down through a Pale Cascade with the Protector.
Be brave.
I think I like this. We just... Okay, I'm on board with this now. If he has the Pale Cascade on Diana, we still win this combat. Oh.
Those we care for reflect our love.
Then we probably want to just take down this Mountain Goat. It is the only one we could bring down with the Vanguard, but I don't feel like that's going to be happening. Sure.
No.
Okay. Probably is only Diana taking a look at how his deck's running here, but I think it's good to just go ahead and get that out of here. It's pretty easy for him to still just have a bunch of Nightfalls in his deck.
Where are you, spirit?
See if we can't get another card out of his hand. I think we're about to turn the corner on this game. Can't imagine this Soraka Diana Tom Kench number is going to have a whole lot of aggression coming at us. These don't feel spectacular here, but I feel like we need to get something on board. Let's do this. Let's just Behold and bank all that mana. Golden Sister seems fantastic here. Bonk. Bro here isn't getting kitty headbutts. I don't know how frequently you all have to deal with that, but shit.
There always
Sure.
seems to be more stars to return.
I'm sure there are some who fall just to see you again.
Okay. I don't think we have to run this out right now, but then the other kind of the big thing we can do with Golden Sister is get 2 hits in by using Concerted Strike, which I do kind of like. I think what we want to do, I want to add the sister. I want to give him a chance to just play like something that we may or may not want to hook and just get a little attack in. I'm not attacking with the lifesteal one. And if he spends all his mana on like an Obliterate or something here, I'm pretty okay with that. Oop. Okay. I do believe we want to try to get rid of this thing. This is a pretty easy way for us to win the game. I'm not like super sure about what this guy's playing, but with like the self-damage theme that Bilgewater has in this set, it's painful. I'd like to see this thing go. Like I feel like that's the only way we really lose this game now is if he's able to dump a bunch of elusives onto us. Sure.
The healing
Seems like an aggressive heal.
Look at this, boys. No real estate.
Okay. Jim. I think we should just go ahead and Sunburst here. If he tries to gem this up and then attack, there's not anything we can do about it. And then this still leaves us with Concerted Strike mana to try to deal with this guy over here. And we just need to not die. We're getting super close to just dropping Aurelion Sol. Not a whole lot of room for combat tricks he could have here. We'll let this one go through, and then strike this. You first, you second. I don't think he can give barriers here.
Darkness hides in my path.
Okay. I think this is good. Eclipse Dragon. I mean, we can make Aurelion Sol cost 2 less. I don't think that's quite what we're looking to do here. I think we want to get the Nightfall off of this one. Thinking of just doing the Protector and the Duelist. Again, just giving us another avenue of dealing with this Shadestalker. It's probably not an unreasonable time to try to trade off Golden Sister. Depends on what he plays. I mean,
we are so glad to have you back, grandfather.
I only leave to
okay,
know
well,
the
we just
joy
have to
of
deal with him.
return.
I was gonna say I kind of like the ideal of giving Golden Sister Challenger and then hooking his Shadestalker, but that's just not in the cards anymore.
Let us settle this with grace and civility.
I mean, I feel pretty comfortable going up to 12 and then being able to drop Aurelion Sol next turn. Pretty good. Sure. See if he takes the time to drop Soraka here.
Mind
nice.
your manners, my stars. Soraka is here.
Oh, hello, little ones.
Okay, we want the Scourge.
The old cosmic lizard.
A dragon, madam.
Whatever the cost.
Yeah, we only have 22 power? Dang. 10 to 22, yeah. I redid the math, we're only at 22. That's fine. Again, as long as we don't die here, we're going to be completely fine. So we can drop the Scourge next turn, hook down his units that matter, and it should be in a pretty good spot to start picking up the win.
Now they'll pay attention. A familiar face for you Runeterrans.
I'm mainly interested in killing the Stargazer.
In service to the end. The possibilities are
Just if he pulls off some kind of AoE on us, that's the only like real way we're ever going to lose this game. Like, can we attack with either of these? I don't think so. I don't want to risk giving his units health. No. Okay. sometimes the Aurelion Sol and the Scourge are just good enough. Pretty much every time. But
see you next time, Runeterra.
Okay. Not opposed to picking up Spring Guardian for Moondreamer. I think I would rather do this. Like we don't really have a dragon theme going on. Like we have the Shyvana, but I think that when it comes to dragons, we're really looking to have like the one that makes things cheaper, being the main one. It's just it's not here. I'm trying to think of what like they added all these dragon cards, but there's not really a whole lot of dragon build around stuff outside of Shyvana having this few meaningless lines of text that flip her by seeing dragons do damage. So without the things like the dude that makes units cheaper, like we're not really doing a whole lot of these. And so I think I'm okay with like dropping our curve a bit. As you can see in some of these games, our early game curve is pretty abysmal, and succession just being something that we can play on 2 or on 3. Oh, hang on. Did I read that backwards? We're trading that out? Oh, shit. Hang on. Hang on. I've lost my mind. These trades are all going backwards. I don't want to actually do any of these. I don't want to trade any of our cheap units. That was a lot of analysis that was just wrong and for nothing. That's fun. We'll get through this run, guys. We'll get through. Look at all these monster win rates. Even seeing Lee Sin above everyone really worries me that they just added in a second one of his pools. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. I feel like the answer is not well. Interesting set. Do you ever really start Darius Articuno and then pick up Ashe? Darius, Ashe, and then one. That seems strange to me. Nonetheless, this should be a pretty reasonable start against this guy. Like Shyvana's the one I'm not like really convinced we should be keeping, but I think that'll be okay. We'll just kind of play it by ear if we're looking to either drop Shyvana's or Silverwing Vanguards. We'll Stomper. I want to keep this mana around for the Radiant Strike we just drew. Darius and Evia Ashe. Okay.
Can see the Demacian border from here.
Cool. If we ever get a card out of some kind of combat here, I'd be super stoked to see that happen.
Ready the torches.
Okay. We get all the heals now. There's so many ways to just get this get this health back. Our deck can't really do it, but I'm curious to see how that pans out. Like these, you know, you used to be able to make that block, and then maybe you play like an Omen Hawk here, and it kind of gives you some options as far as, you know, trying to bring this unit down. But there's just so many cards that can just heal up this incidental damage that it's like you really need to be kind of pushing for combat trades. Maybe not so much like this week, but or, I mean, like these next 2 weeks. I think it'll be a little bit more important, where Soraka and Tom Kench and such are going to be running around to a much higher degree. Shyvana with this pool paired up with Aurelion Sol. I don't approve of that one. Should be a huge turn for us now. Are we willing to trade our 3/3 for his like elixir of iron? Oh, quite think so.
Tread carefully.
What's the elixir of wrath? Okay, all right. Wrong elixir. I'm still not used to fearing the elixir of wrath. I know we've talked about it earlier in this run, but you used to just never see it. I'm sure we went like months without seeing an elixir of wrath. It's tough to remember that. It's tough to remember that it's back.
No one's the wiser.
Are we cool just banking all this mana? I think we are. He probably never attacks with this. This isn't for a Nightfall. I want to add the Vanguard, but I don't want it to get avalanched. And if we're just trading Saboteur for a 2/1, I'm okay to just trade off the Stomper. But pretty stoked to see this Noxus deck just not adding any units there. You can play like Alpha Wildclaw here, and it's certainly not the end of the world. Almost bust nap time. This guy just seems so good. Just absolutely does not need Fury. Do we want to try to sink this thing? Like we got a whole bunch of sunbursts. I think I'm okay with just spending it here. Our board is just so much better than this guy's. Let's just go ahead and like get this attack in. He'll force a trade. This thing will trade with our Stomper, and it kind of puts him in a spot to where if he's just like adding one big dude a turn, we play that game a lot better than he does. And so I think if we end where we at turn 6 against a Noxus deck with them with no board and us at 20 health, that's just absolutely wonderful. You couldn't ask for more.
Moving into sight.
It's suspect.
Damn it.
I guess that prevents the most damage, is kind of the side way to look at that. Yeah, that feels a little suspect. Like I mean, if he had like I guess he couldn't Death Lotus there. Let's see. I want to get this down because we're getting real close to just playing our Nightfall unit. I think we're okay with this. We can play this, and then we can still just Nightfall next turn, and then try to play something on the cheap the following turn. Even the only way this gets awkward is if there's like another dragon we draw that we want to play like now, and I just don't think that's the case. we have enough stuff to do without just adding a random dragon to the board. Maybe we'll just top deck Aurelion Sol next turn. People come here for the strategy and stuff, and that's it. That's it right there. Just top deck your one copy of Aurelion Sol once you've made him cheaper.
Something ancient stirs.
Okay.
Let's soar!
What punish is there for this with 3 mana? Yeah, I think we've already got our value out of dude, regardless.
Face me!
Right, if he wants to spend like another combat trick or something here, I'm pretty okay with it. We have all the tools it takes to take down the Anivia egg. I think this is pretty safe. Like we do have to look out for this second elixir of wrath. You know, that could bring down our dragon, but I think that's pretty okay. I think this feels like he's really just attacking to try to AoE down our 1 health units, and that kind of plays in line with why he blocked our Vanguard in the previous turn. So I think our dragon is pretty safe.
Endless cold, endless peace.
Take my helmet!
Tomorrow we rise anew.
Okay, we actually got all the time in the world to deal with this egg. I think we're pretty okay here. Get Vanguard down. Depending on what he does, we'll play Priestess before we attack. Okay. Make this happen. Sure. I'm gonna Nightfall. We can, number one, I think we can just straight up beat Anivia. I don't think it's ultra important to immediately deal with this egg. And two, we can concerted strike it down. Does egg count as a follower? Or does this still count as a champion? I've never seen this interaction. That has to just count as a champion, right? Okay. We'll just take the giant monster. I'm pretty sure this counts as a champion. It's got the border on it and everything. It still has this level up stuff. I have to imagine this counts as a champion, and we can't just silence it.
For the hand!
Sure. Don't think we care about these hooks anymore. Excuse me. So let's just get this down. Great block for this thing. I'd love to see this guy play a Harsh Winds before combat. During combat, so that we get a good concerted strike. We don't have enough units for him to really make that go too poorly.
Noxus!
I do want to leave some love behind when we're about to drop this Scourge on him. So if we don't lose too many units here, that would be pretty great. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I have to imagine if he had Harsh Winds, he would have just sent everything in. But if this fails, it's not the end of the world. We have the tools to deal with Anivia. Oh. Right, seems like a pretty good spot for us. That really surprises me what happened here. I can't imagine what's living in this guy's hand. Got this big boy astral protection to deal with things here. So Harsh Winds? Yeah. Why would he add Darius? Like in the face of the Scourge, this just has to be a harsh winds, right? Like there's no two ways around it. Like this Vanguard and the Scourge are gonna get hit with harsh winds. But I think we're pretty okay with this.
Coming.
We got all the tools to deal with this Darius. We've just been like steamrolling every single Darius we've come across for like the past 2 months. It's been savage, like the amount of just like oh, just a flash freeze, sure. The amount of like sunbursts we've been dropping on Darius. It's just he's been struggling real hard against everything we've been doing. But then when we played him, we like just super easily like 7-0'd the run. It's 7-2, 7-1. Like I'm pretty sure the last time we played Darius, we just smashed straight through to the end. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but okay. We can just eat this. Let this one happen. We better save this. There's no reason to spend all this mana in case this second apprehend comes in. Okay, let's take this up to 7 health so it can block his thing and not die. Then we'll just plan on dealing with this Darius with the Scourge that we're going to give infinite health. And this game's about to be over. Be over stat. Just don't even care about a flipped Darius. Like that's the state of the game that we're in. Just don't care. You can't do enough combat to stop what we're doing. So we're just gonna speedrun this. We'll play the bird down. We'll annihilate this guy's combat. Assume that he'll just concede, but we have a fantastic open in the event that he doesn't. This game is so over.
Noxus will rise.
I was trying to think. It wasn't like a very popular Magic saying, and it's been like 15 years ago since people started saying it. But like, when you were playing against someone and they had no cards in hand and essentially no cards in play, then they weren't allowed to say anything. You know, that's just the rule. Like you aren't allowed to talk. You can't talk shit. You can't complain. You're just 100% blanked out of the game. You just can't say anything. That's what's about to happen to this guy. Just actual nothing. Right? No cards in play. No cards in hand. I'm sorry, Davnos. It's a rough state to be in. Got him.
Speak truth.
Maybe this one card's a good one. Snap. Poor Darius. I don't know, man. We had the success with Darius, it's just everyone else doesn't seem to be the case. All right. Let me make sure I understand how trades work again. Like I don't want Ranger's Resolve, but I just don't want Fused Firebrand more. I think like the remainder of this run is just going to be dedicated to making our curve lower, and so I don't want the Firebrand. I am okay with picking up Mountain Goat in place of the Defender. I think this is likely what we'll want to do. I don't want to get rid of our interaction here. Let's actually pick up Mountain Goat. I think we got the extent of the tough value out of that Articuno matchup, and he's just, I'd rather have something that could trade with a 3 or a 4 as opposed to interact with the ones and twos better. Okay. Did most of my set review stuff with LOR Guardian. They did better than Mobalytics in my opinion on this release. So there was that. Say, I talk a lot of trash about LOR Guardian, but those people are up on it. They're current. There's no denying that. All right. I think this is a reasonable start. I don't think we need to start with Sunburst. We have 3. We should be able to pick one up by the time we need it. Hold the Infinite's probably a reasonable pass. Like we don't want to be having to make that play where it's turn 3 and we're fully banked and we just behold the Infinite. Like we want to just play a unit. So I think we should just search for that unit. What's this? Ash Darius Katarina. Okay. It seems like a great start for us. I guess he could be some kind of Overwhelm deck as he plays the Overwhelm unit. Typically see that out of Sejuani and not Ash, but okay. I don't quite feel like this was a great attack. It's just if he has the brittle steel, then it's brutal. But we just want to go ahead and Sunburst Ash. Kind of like it. It feels like he's got either a brittle steel or a what's it called? The elixir of iron, or even just a frostbite. Frostbite doesn't make sense with the previous turn though, so I'm fully expecting to just lose this unit here. But I think that's okay. Oh, maybe he doesn't. We want to just bank up a little mana with this Moondreamer. Or, I mean, like, we can play Protector and bank a mana, or play Moondreamer here. I think this... okay. Just doesn't have combat tricks. Like, he can add a dude that's bigger than ours, which is fine. But, like, if his dude's going to be bigger, it's going to be one of these 5/5s that's going to interact well with whatever we throw at it.
I'll handle this myself.
Don't have a real great answer for Darius. that's a fact. Just deal with him next turn. We'll have the 7 mana if we want to Dragon plus Confront, but I mean we are running out of resources doing things like this. I think. What about this? We can play this Scout Fury thing next turn and give a Challenger. That should be enough to deal with a lot of this. We're just okay to add in Moondreamer, right? So we go up to the full 3 spell mana. I'm not going to be able to Crescent Strike here, but it could be useful in a few turns. I think this is one of these things where we just need to be able to play our spells, and I think I just want to keep this Moonsilver.
Stars have so much to tell us.
As Noxus wills!
Let's throw our units away. I think again, as long as we're not getting abused on our health total, then we'll run this game out. I'd love to see Flash Freeze here if our game plan is to play the Fury Scout thing and give it Challenger. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like he should have spent one by like at some point. Maybe he just has the elite level patience.
Anyone hurt?
How greedy do we want to get? That's the question, right? I think this is okay. Do we? I mean, do we want to take the Marauder down first? I'm more worried about like hooking the Marauder and him having like a might. If that's the case, this is just so extremely bad for us. Whereas, you know, right, if we're trying to just play this from like ultra value, we hook this thing and he has a might or he has an elixir, he has a +3/+4, then we're just such a bad spot. Ugh. I think this is a pretty bad spot. This is a pretty bad spot as well. Maybe we were just too aggressive. Oh yeah, we're super hosed now. Maybe we should have just played units and not worried about Darius. Our life was pretty healthy. We're just lethal now, right? Yeah, not even close. We can gain 5, but I don't think there's anything else we can draw. Or we can gain 2. Alright. Yeah, we did not play that well. That was just way too greedy. I don't like that play at all. We should have just put units on board and just been ready to block stuff. Whirling Death. Yeah, we should have done better than that. Alright, but continuing on. I don't think we really want Vanguard Sergeants, right? We're never making this trade for the Researcher for the Firebrand. Never trading our 1-cost trick for a 2-cost trick. It's just we don't feel like a deck that really needs 4 Demacia. We've never had trouble like winning combats. I think I want to be able to stick to having Challenger. Let's skip over that one. Okay, so if we quit just throwing games, we'll be to this final battle pretty easy. We gotta win this last one, make our first run of Monuments of Power. Nice little 7 winner. Shyvana Soraka, sure. Okay, that's an easy full mulligan. We just need the cheaper dudes. Alright, that looks more like the starts I like to see whenever we're playing these games. The big decision, do we want to get the 3-2 or the 2-3? I think we probably just want to go aggressive here.
Come hither, you beasts of glory!
Beautiful. I always say beautiful when he drops a 3-cost White Flame Protector next turn. That's kind of a problem for us, but we're surviving. We're Shyvana.
Blood, Demacian heart.
Let the blood boil, half-dragon.
How do we deal with this? She's a pretty easy hook next turn. Like we have the mana for the gem, and we can play the Duelist. Or depending if we want to just put a unit in front of her, we don't have to use the gem. Pretty sure we just want to use the gem though. So let's do this. Let's add in the Researcher.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
Suffer my fury.
Nice. Nice. I think we're okay to just take this hit, actually. Okay. Where's our unit? There we go.
Let us settle this with grace and civility.
And this also looks pretty good if his play is White Flame Protector. We have a lot of tools to deal with what he could be playing here. If he plays a 5-cost one, that kind of sucks for us, and it kind of sucks he's going to be getting value out of this thing for the rest of the game, but maybe I should have thought about this more. Maybe we should have just taken down the Herald. We still have the opportunity to do that. You can't block our 4-2 with Shyvana. She's not.
To their young bloods, we are
Well, I thought about it more. I like this a lot more. We have 2 combat tricks to deal with any shenanigans he has here. I don't think we should have gemmed. That looks just too obvious.
As foretold.
But if he had that, the +2/+2 trick, then that would have been a problem. Okay to spend this here. Just prepare to get our blocks in.
They are
The
nothing.
Shyvana dies before that flip effect happens.
No doubt you've heard of me.
Got the trick. You gotta have the trick, right? You're hushing over here. Why? Oh, you just have 2 hushes? Okay, he's just got all the cards. Alright. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
There are none like me.
It's just the real unfortunate thing here was that the Shyvana got to flip. She's a C. Like, she has to see this damage, and so if we're able to take down that Shyvana before she flips, then, you know, he has to redo all that 12 damage. I think we're okay to add one of our own. Oh, hang on. No, let's just. Do we want to just go wide here? Our width is really good here. So what if we do this? We'll add Startled Stomper. We'll add Succession. We'll do Envious Vox next turn. I think I like this. We could even gem up our researcher and get him into the mix.
The age of dragons is begun.
Oh dear.
This is one of these spots we'd love to see him just play Gigantic Dragon there.
Taste my skill! Come back later. We are inevitable.
That seems extremely good for us.
Need a hand, little star?
It's gonna make it. That's gonna make for a pretty good Shyvana. Not gonna lie about that. Gonna be dealing some damages here. How do we look at this? We probably need to. Oh. We do have really good blocks with just the researcher on Shyvana. And as long as we're protected from the
Soraka is here.
Oh, hello, little ones. Have you missed me?
the follow up. We have 8 mana, right? We can just double invoke. I like it. There we go. I mean, she has spell shield, but we can still spike his other good units. Like we're getting to the stage of the game to where he's just going to be dropping like gigantic dragons. Or do we want to just try to search for Aurelion Sol? We already have 2 Shyvanas. We'd be coin flipping and drawing Aurelion Sol. I think we just want to remove the spell.
In her radiant blessing.
Like when we get to these turns to where it's like he plays like an 8-cost dragon and we just combat it, we just get so far ahead on mana.
Stars fall.
What am I missing here? This seems horrible.
Take heart.
You are nothing.
Try me, I dare you.
Big with that. What if we just let this stay a 7? He'll be 1 short, right? He's just gonna have. Oh no, we can heal through that. If she stays at 7.
Believe or burn.
Right, he's gonna play whatever Shyvana Dragon Fury thing is. Shit, we needed to win that combat. That's a real problem. Alright, nothing we can do about it.
From the skies!
At least he can't play the second one because he just gets it when he attacks. Oh, I see how we messed that up now. Okay. I didn't think this. I thought this was a strike. I didn't realize this happened on attack. I thought this was on strike. Yeah, I should have known better than that. I knew in my head that was how it worked. So do we just have to look for a big Celestial now? Like adding these other cards we have just doesn't do anything. We are beholden now. We have the Comet in our hand. Can we survive if we play Cosmic Inspiration? Like, he can't attack next turn. He can't actually kill us with this stuff. And we just kind of count on being bigger than him. And I think it's our play. We can't take the Scourge. I just don't. I just worry if that we won't have enough time to pull all this off. Right, he's gonna add another big boy in hand. I think it comes down to like, I think we just need to accept we lose to a combat trick here and play the Firebrand plus plus confront. Let's see how much mana he spends here. Is right. I mean, it's okay. Well, I guess that answers the question on how much mana he has in this situation. Are we just dead though if we try to hook in Shyvana? I think we are, but we don't have a choice, right? Damn. Right, because it's going to stun here. He can open. He'll hit for 8. This will hook our little 8/9 hit for 15. But then if we just try to get a value hook in with this thing, then he's just going to have units behind. Fuck. Alright. The Shyvana guarantees that we die. I don't think we have... we could draw a Concerted Strike? Concerted Strike won't do it. Damn. Maybe he won't attack. Maybe if he doesn't open on us, so we can play Silverwing Vanguard and get enough blockers down. Okay. Unnecessary bursts, sure.
Live with purpose by the power of the stars.
Alright, that's too bad. Well, our play this run wasn't worthy of 7, and so we got real sloppy a lot of the way through that run. But nonetheless, I'm not this deck. Let me see. Let me get this pulled up real quick. I mean, it's kind of awkward in this recap phase where we don't really know what all of the cards are in each of the pools. You know, I was pretty confident what we were getting into with the Shyvana plus Aurelion Sol pairing. You know, we did just force the dragons. I don't feel like this is, you know, really a deck. It's kind of the sad thing with this, right? The only, you know, build around dragons matter cards are the 2-drop that makes a copy of them. Sure, there's the spell that draws 2 dragons or gives your dragons like +1/+1. Sure, but there's no like real payoff. Shyvana doesn't even feel like payoff. It's just like a reasonably statted unit, and so I don't know. Maybe I'll think differently about this a few runs down the road, but it just feels to me like this is just like there's no actual dragon theme. There's no real payoff for drafting a bunch of dragons, and so I don't know what like the limit of like dragons I want to try to flip Shyvana is. It's probably 0. I probably just want like 3 egghead researchers and then maybe like 1 protector and 1 of just like a big dude, and I'd be happy with the number of dragons, but that's certainly not any kind of like build around, and so I don't know, maybe you all think differently, but it feels like there was just a ton of dragon stuff added in the new set, and then just like no synergy to go along with it. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'd be missing though. Outside of not having like the Moondreamer or whatever that guy's called that makes him cheaper. I'm not sure like what makes us want to play Shyvana. Like what what card exists to where it's like, well, I didn't want to play this, but I think we have enough dragon synergy. Or like, what card is there to be like, well, this card's pretty mediocre unless we have like 5 dragons in our deck. There's just the one. And so I don't know. Maybe this is just a theme that needs a little bit more time to flesh out. But I was not real excited about this Shyvana build around. Outside of her being a reasonable unit, I should say. But nonetheless, if you are getting into the Shyvana build around, especially if you're paired with Aurelion Sol, a big thing to say is to keep your curve in check. We went out of our way as hard as we could to try to push our curve low, and we succeeded to an extent, not as much of an extent as I would have liked. You really do have to take every effort that you can take though to just push your deck low. If you get into these curves to where we have 10 4-drops in our deck, is that right? No way, that's right. 10? Are there really 10 4-drops in our deck? We got 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the program's right. But 10 4-drops way too many. And then if you end up in these curves where everything down here just pushes up too high, it's just super easy to do trying to draft dragons, because the cheapest dragon costs 4, right? Shyvana costs 4, White Flame Protector costs 4. There's no other dragons in the game, and so there's no dragon whelp to play on turn 2 to start kicking off your dragon synergies. It's just everything is fucking expensive. but then again, I mean, there's no payoff for drafting those dragons anyways, and so I think looking at this, it's just a curved deck that has no built-in synergies. If I'm just playing a curved deck, I want to be playing Overwhelms. But nonetheless, thing number 1 to do, make sure that you watch your curve. Real easy to let your curve get away from you here. Thing number 2, make sure you pick up some removal spells. If you're approaching this the way that we did, we do know that Aurelion Sol Otherworldly Journey has no removal in it, and so we did somehow, some way come up with 3 sunbursts, but typically I would not expect this to happen. Apparently, Concerted Strike is in the Shyvana side of things, and I would say that also whatever her flip card is, single combat plus a mana also lives there. So there are some removal spells in the Demacia side, but it's real easy to go through these runs without picking up any removal. Make sure you at least pick up a little bit of something. And then the note that I would leave with here is that when it comes to combat tricks in these big curve decks, you really want it to be Radiant Strike. It's we have a lot of these turns to where we're wanting to play whatever random dude on 3, Shyvana on 4, say a Screeching Dragon on 5. It's just you can't fit riposts in there. You can't fit prismatic barriers in there. You can't fit these expensive combat tricks in there and still play a unit. And so you have to put a lot of emphasis on trying to pick up things like Radiant Strike if you want your bigger units to be able to survive in combats. But there you have it for this run. I think there's a touch of rewards that we can click on here real quick. They did extend out the faction region road, so a little bit of rewards. Not a super exciting one, but hey, it's our start for the new set. But there you have it. That's going to do it for this run. Hope you guys enjoyed our first Monuments of Power run. Enjoyed a little something along the way. Excuse the few misplays I made along the way, and had a good time watching. This is Free to Play Bust. Thank you for being here.